Okay, hold on. Here we go.
Hey kids! It's time to have fun! Ready, set, go!
What the fuck did that say? This is so good. By the way, God bless whoever edited this video. That was the perfect ending to it, I'll be honest with you.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back, and welcome to yet another fine edition of a Rogue Takeover. That's me. And we're doing yet another fine history of Mr. Metokur. Hey, Sparky, long time no see.
Hey, what's up?
I mean, sailing as usual. But how have you been on this glorious long weekend?
Oh, sold some things, did some stuff. Me, wife, and the kiddo went out, ate, got some stuff, and
Nice.
for the most part, been home. Had some extra time, and I decided to train in an AI voice.
Ah, that sounds impressive. Did you use the lion tamer trick, or did you have to do something completely different?
What do you mean? I'm sorry.
The whip
say that again.
in the chair, like for
Yeah.
the AI.
Yeah, I've been whipping it into shape.
Oh God. Well, obviously Gemax is dead, or he forgot as usual, which is fine. But yeah, no, as promised, we'll be doing the Jim versus Kraut. Now, this was this was during the same time. I think he was still doing Stream.me, and this was just after the whole Trout issue from Kraut and his gay ops and a few other different things. So this was Kraut's glorious moment to kind of set everything, squared everything away, make sure that all of his ducks are in a row, that kind of thing, that he wasn't trying to perform gay ops, blah blah blah. but I don't want to ruin too much because we've got some time. We've got some time, at least about an hour of them battling back and forth or so. I believe, if I remember correctly, I think there's supposed to be berry collections, but we don't cover those. We usually try to get the fuck out when that happens. So, are you excited about this? Do you remember this?
I don't remember this, but I remember after the fact. Because during the time whenever I was interacting with talking and stuff like that, I
Yeah.
did have the pleasure of talking to Kraut.
Oh,
Yeah.
how was it talking to a Dorful Dick?
It's all lies. It's all slander. He never had doxing server. He never did any of this stuff, and all his political enemies were going after him.
Oh, okay, okay. Well, I wish him the best of luck with all of that because
That's
his entire Discord server was leaked. So if there was any form of doxing or whatnot, it would have never showed up on the giant leak that happened. Yet there was a lot that happened that showed up. So I don't know.
that's the excuse he used in
I know.
VC with people and stuff like that.
Oh, of
and
course,
and
that's
it's
what
like I told him, it's like, look, it is what it is, and it's like I'm not getting involved in any of that shit.
Gemex, welcome back. We thought you were dead or forgotten.
Nope. I was painting a room and just finished up.
Oh, you're not going to sit in the room and inhale all the nice fumes?
Nope, letting my wife do that tonight.
Oh, okay. I'm expecting to hear some screams about some invisible spiders or something like that.
Oh no, she'll just pass out. She's already drunk, so
Okay.
hopefully we'll have brain damage and life will be easier for me. So we'll see.
Jesus Christ. But yeah, do you remember this entire fiasco, Jim versus Kraut and T?
Wasn't that when they were talking about doxing and shit? And
Mhm. Yeah, this would be the actual sit down. Kraut actually trying to clear all the allegations out of the way, making sure that everybody knew that he did not have a doxing server. Everything out there was a lie and all that kind of stuff. Even though the amount of evidence that was eked out of his Discord kind of paints you a different picture. So,
yeah. Like I said, I usually just hop into VCs to talk with people like
I get it.
Alex, Vamp, and a couple other ones. And it was an open Discord, so everyone jump in or everyone jump out, stuff like that. So, and that's just I got asked about it. Is like, what do you know about this? Like, absolutely nothing. And it's like, oh well, that's good because this is what happened. Like, okay.
Right. Yeah. All right, but yeah, let's do this. It's questionable. I think it's in almost 2 hours, but I do remember there's supposed to be some berry collections. So if it goes over our time allotted, which is usually about an hour and a half, we will just continue the rest later on the next episode. But without further ado, let's do
Say
this.
hi to the audience, and then we'll get right into it. Everybody watching, this is the stream that we both agreed to do. Kraut and I.
Yay!
A 1v1, as it
You can
were, to
hear it,
talk
right?
about everything, I guess, from the end of
I hear.
2017 up until
Everything.
till recently. Now, I know you've gone around trying to clear your name or give your side of the story. You disagree with the narrative you say is out there. So I'm willing to give you a fair shake and hear you out on this. So,
hang on.
What?
I wonder if it's the same excuse he tried to give me.
Well, we'll find out, won't we? He's about to use
I guess we will.
Where would you like to begin? Where do you think we should begin?
Oh, it's your stream, please. You.
Okay. Well,
Did you understand any of that?
It's your stream, please. You.
Okay, thank you.
I guess we can just start it at the very
Want to
beginning.
make sure some people
I'll
don't
start
understand
it with Rage
stupid
After
pyramids.
Storm. I think is kind of
Yeah,
the impetus of everything. Now, what is your take on your involvement with Rage After Storm? I know you put out tweets, and I know you put out a video saying that you felt...
Yeah.
Oh, go ahead.
I made a stupid tweet. That's what I made.
Okay.
At the blog Kipper Central. I deleted the tweet within 20 minutes of making it, and even made a tweet that I shouldn't have done that. Then a week later, she's driven off the internet, and another week after that,
Aiden
my tweet is
Paladin.
brought up again.
Yes.
So that's how I see it. That's why I refuse to apologize a second time, more or less.
Right, right. Do you still feel she's a Nazi bitch queen, as you put it?
Ooh.
I wouldn't put it like that anymore.
Okay, because I went over the videos that I did to try to reestablish the timeline, and I went over some of the stuff that was out there. I know she put out her Race is Real video on the 24th of June. You had gone on a stream with Andy Worski and Jeff Holiday and a few
Race
other people
Worski.
on the 28th of June. The very next night after that stream, you tweeted out to Kipper Central.
Yes.
Now,
yes.
Jeff Holiday has made multiple statements after, I'd say within the span of a couple months of her basically being deplatformed, however you want to express it. And I want to give an exact quote here. Make no mistake, we bullied the shit out of Rage after Storm. We bullied her off social media. We bullied the fuck out of her. And then he followed that up with another statement. Fuck that dumb bitch. We bullied her. Talking about
Well, he doesn't speak for me.
Yeah,
Does he now? These are his words, are they?
right. But
what he
when
said.
I think what people find strange, right, is when the Rage thing happened, it was you and Holiday on the same stream.
And
He took
Andy
part.
Worski and
Yep.
that girl with an opinion and some black guy.
Yep. No, it was you two together on the stream, and yet out of all those people, I mean, you bring up Andy Worski, some black guy, that girl with an opinion. I'm not sure about that girl. I think she might have been in the Discord server, but when the Discord server was established, I mean, both you and Holiday ended up in there together.
So you think that ties it all to the Discord server?
Well, I think it shows some cooperation, or at least a similar mindset when you were dealing with Rage.
I guess it was a similar mindset months before that Rage thing, because there were conversations with people, and if you don't mind, I wouldn't like to mention some of them, because they probably don't want to get dragged into this again.
Yeah, that's fine. Say whatever you want, man. It's up to you.
Yeah, there were conversations about making videos on the alt-right months before this, like starting almost in April 2017, I think.
Yeah.
That's probably when it started. There was a server before the initial server. JF was actually in that one.
Now, was
And
that
it just went nowhere.
was that one run by Habib as well, or is that run by somebody
No, that
different?
was run by me. That was run by me.
So the previous server to
That was
this
run by
one.
me. Yeah, no, the previous server to what we called the Task Force server was also run by me, but it went nowhere, so I shut it down, frustrated, and didn't do anything with it for a month, and then made a new one and tried it again. But the thing is that I wanted to get back to, it wasn't even me or Jeff who bullied Rage After Storm off the internet.
Okay, who do you believe bullied her off the internet?
Linkin Park fans.
The Linkin Park
fans. Why would Jeff Holiday take credit for getting her off the internet then if he had no hand in it?
I don't know why he would do that.
Is Jeff Holiday a known
Linkin
liar?
Park fan.
Maybe he's getting things confused. I don't know, but the tweets that drove her off the internet are still out there. Do I send them to you via Skype or via Twitter? What would you prefer?
Send them via Twitter, and I will, like I said, if you got something you want me to show, send it to me and I'll put it up.
Well, you don't necessarily have to show it. Everyone can look this up themselves. It's just a few screen caps I took. You can see them dated to the 22nd of July when the lead singer of Linkin Park committed suicide. She made several tweets about how he deserved to die because he was a Jewish degenerate, blah, 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 all sorts of stuff like that. And she got a massive shitstorm hammered down on her. And the tweets of this shitstorm are still up there for everyone to see. There's even a Reddit thread where people organized to drive her off the internet when that happened.
Now, this tweet you're showing me is from July 21st, 2017 from Rage, saying he was a selfish asshole for killing himself. He had 6 kids.
Yes.
And you're
There's
saying...
several other tweets she made.
Yeah.
Several other tweets she made as well. I found one more. Wait a moment. I just have to give you this other screen cap first. There are several tweets she made, and the reaction she got was pretty nasty, and she left. And the thing is, when she left, she also made a statement that she didn't leave because of that. She made a statement that she was restructuring what she was doing on YouTube.
Yeah. Well, here's what I find awkward about this, and I'm going to go back to the
Mhm.
timeline when we're talking about this. So her video hits on the 24th. 4 days later, you guys get together and you do your stream. A day
Mhm.
later, you're contacting Kipper Central.
Mhm.
One of the weird things about this entire thing is after you had contacted Kipper Central,
Mhm.
the very next day, Soledad O'Brien starts tweeting about Rage After Storm and about Kipper
Who?
Central. Soledad O'Brien, the reporter.
Ah,
Now,
he's a journalist. Okay.
yeah,
Okay.
she's a journalist. Now, the weird thing is, Kipper Central has barely any followers. I mean, at the time they were
Mhm.
like 400 or 500. It just seems very bizarre the timing of that, especially when you
Mhm.
consider what seems to be an association between yourself, your Discord, and
Mhm.
just journalists in general when it comes to alt-right
Mhm.
figures.
I have no idea who that journalist is, and I have not talked to that journalist in regards to Rage After Storm
Okay,
whatsoever.
so you,
The only other thing I did was when that shit was brought up again, when that stuff was brought up again. Okay, I was first really fucking angry that it was brought up again because I already made a tweet, but I also conceded that if it was true that I had gotten her fired, that I would have no other choice to apologize. I conceded that I was getting ready to make an apology video, but I wanted to make sure that if that would actually be the case. So I emailed the owner of the blog and asked him if I got her fired, and he emailed me back that I didn't. I can send you these emails as well if you want.
yeah, no, I am familiar with those because I did read them when you put them up initially, and I think this is going to be one of the themes when we go forward talking about these different things is action versus intent. The
Yes,
intent that you had behind contacting Kipper Central obviously wasn't. I mean, you
wasn't
couldn't.
noble. No, it
No, it wasn't noble. I mean,
was
it was malicious.
yeah, yeah. It was malicious. It was spurgy, stupid, and I freely admit that.
Okay, so we've got you doing something that's malicious. We've got Jeff Holiday after the fact, repeatedly in video form and in written form.
I can't speak for Jeff Holiday. I want to.
I call BS because the employees can't tell anyone why or why not someone got fired. Yeah, I would agree with Erlin. I got that. I got that. I got the employer. You said employee, but I think I said employer. So yes, yes. Hello, Lynn. How you doing over there? Hey,
Yeah.
Sparky, your mom's here.
Yeah.
Let's continue. Let's
Yeah,
continue.
let's continue on so I can try to follow along with this.
Yeah, okay.
make that clear. Like, there is this idea out there that I somehow represent this entire group of YouTubers. I don't speak for them. I don't represent them. I don't tell them what they do. Neither do they tell me
Well,
what.
yeah, but to be fair,
And
though, I
how
mean,
long ago
you
was this
did
again?
just earlier when we were talking about.
This would have finalized in 2019.
Well, I know it was finalized in
So this
2019.
one, I
so one-
believe, it was followed up with the Sunday with Metokur. I believe that would have been, when was that last one? I want to say September. I think September 19th. No, I think it was September. Could have been a bit earlier, but it was when he was doing his Stream.me. He did the last show that me and Jem kind of covered, and it was just, this is a week after that show. And this would have been in the same time frame, just after the return of Kraut. Wonder
so
why
this
you are playing Karen and Ken shit. Because it's Mr. Metokur. This is Mr. Metokur head, history, time frame, and I've taken over the show, so you can blame me
so
for all
this
this.
so this was 2019 then.
Yes, with 2019.
See, I don't remember if this was before or after I talked to him.
I think it would have been probably just before or just after.
I think it was before.
Probably, but okay, there you go. See, I get to do this. It's my call on this one. So blame me for all this one. But yeah, no. So yeah, this would be. I think this would probably because, like I said, this would just Kraut disappeared after his entire Trout's give birth fiasco. And his gay ops was kind of showcased on the world. He left for a while. He then tried to come back, and it was just within this time frame of him trying to reset the record. So this is
And
where
you
we
trying to
got
come
this
back
from.
again right now?
Uh, Kraut? I think he's still kicking around somewhere. Okay,
Yeah.
settle down. Pass you a Snickers bar. No, I don't like Snickers. Try again.
How about some clearly Canadian?
No, I don't even like that.
How about some chicken and waffles?
Ooh, now you're playing my song there, Sparky.
There you go.
That is very tasty food. Yes. Funny enough, even though I'm Canadian, I really don't like clearly Canadian. It's questionable sparkling water. Anyway, continuing.
The server and the one previous say that these are your servers.
Yes.
These are these are people you're working with on this project regarding.
Where is Kraut from? He's from Germany. He's German. Whereabouts? I think he's from Frankfurt, but I'm not 100% sure. But I know he's in the German area.
The alt-right.
The working with thing is a bit doubtful, to be honest. Like, the biggest problem that that's from my perspective, admittedly, not from an outsider's perspective. The biggest problem I had is I had a shit ton of people join these servers telling, oh yeah, this is a great idea, I'm going to work on this and that, and then they just lazily sat around and didn't do anything.
Mm-hmm.
That's, yeah, work, like, I wanted these people to do their own things. I wanted them, where the academics response meme comes from, to ask the various biologists and psychologists that I gathered together.
That actually is a meme. That actually did happen. He academics, please respond. It was during his attack against the alt-right. Because basically the idea is he decided to create a Discord server that was going to attack all the alt-rights and the race, whatever it was that they were doing.
I mean, he's from Germany, and you don't get any more right than that. So
I know.
he's screwed.
No matter what. But some more like New Zealand accent. I was wondering. No, it actually is a German accent. I know Kiwi. They sound different. So he's he's an angry German. He's an angry Kraut.
Now, was this in the same time frame when him, Sargon, and V were doing stuff, or was that before?
I think that would have been before, because this is when the alt-right, and I put that in air quotes, were coming out with the whole racial thing that blacks only or like they hit certain scales, so they're good at sports and that, but not really good at academics. Whites, on the other hand, blah blah blah. That's how you get the meme of race war Worski, because he kind of fell in step with that as well.
Yeah,
So,
and we got a motor horse.
Motor horse.
One of my favorite
memes. Yes.
Yeah. Just talk to my fucking scientists.
Yeah.
I wonder if that's where the whole thing for science officers came into play too.
It might have. It was kind of weird. But yeah, like I said, this
And I'm gonna say, if that is the case, if that's what that came into play, then the Adolf was a faggot ass fucking retarded science officer.
Yes, he was.
Sounds about
Still
right.
Still is. So continuing.
To help them out with research for videos, and then do those videos.
Okay. Well,
I don't know why are you bringing up Jeff? Because Jeff has kind of completely moved on this. He's making his videos on pseudoscience.
I can tell you why I'm bringing up Jeff on this, because again, I want to establish both a timeline and involvement of yourself and the people associated with you in regards to this project. And I think to do that, I'm going to reference something else that was publicly stated in regards to yourself and the people you were associating with. This is up publicly on Wizard of Cause's timeline. I damned you. The tweets, I'm going to put them up on screen so people can take a look at them here. So they know that I'm not fucking about. So they can see that these are what I say they are. And
I know, this is where the good juice comes in.
Sandra speaks and Wizard of Cause in regards to everything that was kind of going on. This is back in August of 2018. So let me just pull this up, and I'll read through them, and then I want to get your reaction to what they're saying in regards to just everything, okay? This starts with Sandre, moves on to Wizard, and David Charat was a part of this conversation, but obviously he changed his handle, so those aren't showing up anymore. Sandre is talking Kraut's channel.
Wait, before you start, I can still see them.
And we're off. And
David's tweets.
Metokur's
If you
already
want
off
to
the
read
beginning.
David's tweets as well, I can share my screen if you want, and you could see them as well.
Okay. Well, when
Or-
we get when we get to it. So from Sandra, it starts at the very top. 29th of August. Kraut's channel has been flagged down. Wizard responds, that sucks. Good thing he doesn't have any kids to support, or it would really suck on a professional level. Fuck, wait, I forgot. I'm supposed to feel sympathy for channels that eat shit due to dog shit mobbing by imbeciles. My bad. Sandra responds by saying, you may feel whatever. I don't care about crusades either, but I'm not suggesting anyone defend Kraut, but a principle. Also, nobody is forcing you. You can just ignore this, and that is how you feel. You should.
Hold up. Really ahead of his time, really. When you think about it, considering the whole COVID/trust the science thing years later, I know, right? I know. Scary how that is. Let's go back just a little bit.
My screen if you want, and you could see them as well.
Okay. Well, when we get to it. So from Sandra, it starts at the very top. 29th of August. Kraut's channel has been flagged down. Wizard responds, that sucks. Good thing he doesn't have any kids to support, or it would really suck on a professional level. Fuck, wait, I forgot. I'm supposed to feel sympathy for channels that eat shit due to dog shit mobbing by imbeciles. My bad. Sandra responds by saying, you may feel whatever. I don't care about crusades either, but I'm not suggesting anyone defend Kraut, but a principle. Also, nobody is forcing you. You can just ignore this, and that is how you feel. You should. Wizard responds, let's glance back on where principle got me, shall we? Where the outrage when I was being lambasted. This is a flagging and outrage war raged by shitbags and shitbag audiences who somehow came to rise to the top of the cup. This is a market dominated by selective outrage. This bullshit war, waged by someone who was told there were better ways, cost me the ability to provide for my family. Most of that is on the dog shit outrage blood sports scene. But when that's raised otherwise and met with, I won't be treated this way, shit, fuck it all. Sandra responds, and I know this is a bit long, but we'll get to it. Sandra responds, everyone was lambasted. Again, I understand you. I'm just pointing this out. I'm not acting like a guardian, and is defending Kraut as a person. Just the fact that he's not deserving of false accusations of flagging. You have the option to ignore all of this, and I think you should. Wizard responds, did I have anything to do with this fuckery? No. I wasn't deserving of false accusations, but no one came to my aid, did they? And tonight, as I tried to give him honest advice, he found himself above reproach for what he cost me. He's too good. Fuck him. Sandra responds, did anyone come to any of our aid? No, my name was dragged in the mud too. Just like anyone who just happened to be in that server. Again, not defending him as a person, but a principle. Want to ignore it? Fine. Nobody is blaming you. Wizard, did you feed yourself or your kid off of what you built that was torn down? Don't try to equate the two.
No, hang on, man.
That was what I had to move forward from, a nightmare.
Didn't V come out and confirm the fuckery that happened?
Unfortunately, yes, he did.
I was gonna say, I thought because V is big in the VTubing space.
Yeah, the Gremlin
now.
himself, yes, the Russian Gremlin.
Yeah,
or the.
But when we came out and did that, he kind of did a 180 and kind of threw a couple people underneath the bus.
Oh, he does that. I mean, he is the carrier pigeon for one Sargon of the COD, and he is the Romanian Gremlin, and sometimes he kind of fondles the iron balls of one Sargoon of the COD, just to make sure they're nice and polished.
Do not forget the Applebee's.
Yeah, you know, right?
I was gonna say, make sure that Applebee's uniform and
looks nice and crisp.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, he has. Unfortunately, when it comes down to this, Kraut wasn't prepared for a lot of people to throw him further into the Black Forest that he belongs into, simply because of the factor that he was easy pickings. He was very easy pickings, and unfortunately, this was his server. This was his idea going forward. He wanted to go against the alt-right, which was the American alt-right based on race, which did not age well. We'll put it that way. And
funny when we said the country lives in.
I know, right? Kind of weird, and he still has to kind of live up to the factor that he said that trouts give birth. Yes, you got it. You got it. Kind of funny how I threw that out there. You do exactly that.
Yeah. But I know you brought this up, but I didn't get a chance to respond to it. But the trust the science thing has been something that the left has been using for a long time. It became real popular when they started using it for COVID.
I know, right? Shakes head. Gee.
Well, actually, it goes way back to the time of Al Gore.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Trust
I
the
know.
science.
Trust your science. We're melting. We're melting.
In 2014, there will be no
Hey,
more.
if we were trusted the science,
2014's gone. Yeah, we still have.
if we were
glaciers.
trusted the science that Al Gore was putting out way back when in the day, the Earth would have been, you know, sun fried from the gaping hole in the fucking ozone layer.
Between
that,
him and
hey,
John
it's
Kerry, we
gone.
would have died like 5 times by now. The world would have blown up 5
No,
times.
it's 52 flavors of gender. Yes, yes. But no, I mean, look, I'm still waiting for my goddamn ice age. You and me, Jem, we know.
I mean, honestly, it's been
Lynn's
getting
also
colder.
kind of going, where's our goddamn ice age that we were promised?
Well, it's actually more. Here's the funny thing: according to the temperatures, we're more likely to get an ice age than we are. I mean, that's the funny part.
Yeah.
I mean, if you look at the temperatures, we're about ready to get an ice age.
I know, right? But no, see, this is
they
the
don't
thing
want
that they were promising us. I know at the North Pole, maybe. No, this was something they were promising us ever since they brought out Leonard Nimoy to do that fucking,
97. I'll have to find that.
Yes.
Goddamn. It was 97 because I watched that.
Well,
in
actually,
school.
no. It was actually early. It was. He still had his full dark hair. It was
No,
just after
79.
79 was just
79.
after his Star Wars,
Yeah.
thing. So it was 79 going into the 80s. He was going through the whole process of we're having an ice age, and we had all the spotlights of every fucking member from the media saying exactly the same thing. And it never happened. All of a sudden, it just went, nope, we no longer have an ice age. Now we're having an inferno every fucking moment.
But here's the funny thing: if you look at the science today, they were more right about the ice age than they are about the fucking global warming. It's hilarious.
But you do know one thing I do kind of find funny, right?
There's probably a lot of things, but
the global warming thing wasn't started being tracked fully around the globe until like the 70s.
Yeah, I know.
No, yeah. The thing is, what was it?
And
we had the global cooling fiasco.
Well, hang on.
You know, go ahead.
Because a lot of people don't take into account a lot of things that happened before that point. Because from that point, they took guesstimations from, temperatures kind of in history of what they thought in certain areas, not globally, and all that good stuff. And one of the things that I usually see a lot of these people not fucking, reference or put in the fact, the Tsar Bomba ran off in 61.
I know.
And where did that fucker go off at? Right up near the fucking North Pole, right?
Yeah, I did, unfortunately.
No.
But no, I mean, this is the thing. We have used questionable data, thrown it into machines that produced algorithms. Some of those algorithms were kind of doctored so that it would come out with the my brain just kind of stopped there for a moment.
With the correct answer they want.
Thank you. I was going to go with something a little bit more brainy, but yes, go with that one.
It goes if sometimes these will just go stupid instead of
yeah. I was like, they were looking for the answer that they were seeking at the time, just so that they can push certain agendas. And here we are. We've got the Al Gore thing that kind of kicked it off instead of going into whatever the people pay, or whatever the people paying the scientists want them to push up. Okay, so when it comes down to this, it is kind of a weird, dicey situation. There's a small percentage of the scientists that will peddle this because of the money that it's available to them. Others really don't want to push this out, and those who wish to kind of say the actual They want to say the quiet part out loud. They get fired and terminated and shut down very quickly. So this is where we're at. We can't trust the science because the science is being manipulated.
Yep.
Unless it can be replicated in several isolated different places, you can't really trust it.
What was
because
it?
Because if you want to trust the science, then you gotta trust scientific theory. And scientific theory is if you have a hypothesis and you want to go through and test it to make sure that it works, you should be able to test it and have the same exact outcome each time with the same variables. If you can't have that, then it's not really sound science.
Well, the problem is they took the variables and they changed them to what they wanted. So they'll have the same variables. Now, if they went with different variables, the actual variables that were consistent, we would have a different answer than what they're coming up with today.
Well,
and we usually do.
And
What was it?
Go ahead.
There was an accidental release of a paper showing that the world is actually cooling more than it is actually heating up when they did an AI study. They said they put all the variables in by accident, and it said, hey, we're actually cooling. They fucking covered that shit up quick as shit.
No shit.
Well,
And then all said they said when the AI did it again, it was like, oh, this is a different answer. That AI was wrong. It had variables that we didn't want in there.
Well,
it literally said that though.
And here's the way it goes too, because I liked MetoHorse's response with like the day after tomorrow and stuff like that, and how perspective of global warming is changing. It's like, look, I'm gonna be the first one to tell you, global warming, or climate change, not really global warming, but climate change is real. Climate change, I'll tell you 100% right now, climate change is a real thing. Do humans have a fucking impact in it? Not really. Very fucking minimal humans have a
We have a
finite
impact. I mean, when it comes down to it.
Yeah, we're not humans are not going to change how the planet warms and cools, right? I mean, could we do like a degree or two? Yes. Is a degree or two gonna fucking hurt us? No, it's not. Because the planet has been through several cycles of cooling and warming for billions of fucking years. We can track that through fucking core samples and stuff like that. The Earth has been as hot as 120, 140 degrees, and it's been as cold as -40, -60 throughout the lifetime of the planet.
Yep. Hasn't changed drastically, but the only thing that has changed drastically is the political decisions by certain people within questionable organizations that never get voted into power.
Yeah.
That'd be the World Economic Forum and a few others, and all that kind of stuff. So the who's of all these different things, and they really don't get voted in. They just They just kind of go, hey, this is a good cushy job for you to hold forever. Just pipe what we want going forward, and that's it.
I'm gonna say the most effect that humans can have is isolated within certain locations of the globe. Humans can change climate isolated.
Yeah.
Within the globe. Like acid rain. Acid rain is a thing. It can happen. It happens all the time with volcanoes. Because sulfur expelled from fucking volcano gets in the clouds. It can create fucking acid rain. Right. Yes.
Wasn't this a Metokur stream?
Yeah, I know. We're
about to. I probably wasn't there for that one. But it's like it's common sense. Like we can
I know,
the climate locally, but we cannot affect it globally.
No. But let's get back to Kraut trying to defend himself from being a questionable racist.
Mayor, it worked well. This is a fucking crusade that happened. He was flagged. He'll be back and fine. Everyone is fine. I died and had to rely on charity. I'd have liked to thank my people, or I'd like to, thank my people in a better fashion, but thankfully they saved me. But he started a war, dragging others into it, and acted like a cunt when offered advice. Ask him. And I should feel bad for him. Fuck him up and down.
Ow.
Sandra responds, I never said you should feel bad for him. It's just about a principle. However, again, sit that one out, and you should. Wizard, principle. The whole thing started because that fuck's ego was so big, he thought it was cool to start a YouTube jihad over a personal gripe with someone he built up and then dragged a bunch of others down with him. Never showed him an ounce of remorse for what he cost anyone. Sandre. Again, I understand and even agree, Kraut is a spurg. I've lost my patience with him too, although he's a friend. But it's not even about him, but a principle. For the last time, ignore if you wish, nobody is blaming you. And finally, Wizard, more than a spurg. He's a soapalistic fuck? Neither he nor anyone gave a fuck when his crusade and the scumfucks who made their bones about it destroyed my livelihood. Principle, he created this environment, reap what you fucking sow. And then finally, from the other, I sent you 2 links. From the other one, it's much shorter. Wizard is responding to Discord spies, Sharat, saying, "You're one to talk. It's funny how both of you fucked yourselves by tongue clicking when good advice was offered. Difference is with him, he took others down with him, and in place of an apology for what happened to me, he instead lamented losing his own shit. Shall we revisit when you were frantic about your lady friend? The place this all began. The help you begged me for. The way I told you directly not to bring that reckless imbecile in, and how he fucked that all up.
Oh, yeah.
I had nothing to do with his crusade, and all my shit died for it." Now,
Sherrod responds with, that stuff is in the past. That was a fuck up, but it was a lost cause before it even started. It's ended, and I'm better off for it. 2, you joined the server. You wanted to burn alt-righters as much as anyone else. And I remember you talking about how you should, quote, use Kraut as a weapon. Then Wizard responds again.
Yep. So what I've noticed when these people are talking about this, when you see a charade,
I can give you the exact context of that conversation.
Well, I read the content. Let me just ask my question first. So when I'm reading these conversations between people on the outside, when it's Charade talking, when it's Sandre talking, when it's Wizard of Cause talking, a few themes keep coming up. One is their disdain for you. You're referred to multiple times as basically a fucking moron. And also talking about your war, the autistic jihad, the crusade against the alt-right, and talking about how this was something that was pushed heavily from the beginning. I know, initially the list of people in the alt-right was called a targets list, and it was changed to persons of interest. And you said, well, we're just researching videos. But when you pair what what Wizard of Cause, what Nick is saying, with the conversations that are going on the outside, right? And you look at statements that Jeff Holiday has made, another person that was in the server, talking about how you bully, he bullied, he's taking credit, he said, bullied Rage off of the internet. We taught her a lesson, basically. We shoved her off. When you take this all together, it makes it seem like this wasn't just an effort to counter what you saw as alt-right propaganda on YouTube, but to do damage and remove people that you had, as they put it, a crusade, a jihad, or a war against.
Well, the context of that conversation is that it's the first time I talked to Nick since about... That was in August 2018. The last time I talked to Nick before that was in the beginning of January. And the thing with Nick is he was in my server and he legit almost did nothing. Like, he wasn't even interested. He was in there. I kept asking him why he was even in there because he didn't do anything there. He just wanted to make videos on other issues, and he said, well, maybe in a year or 2 I'll come back and work on something in that direction with you. But he was legit just not interested. But he still got the same amount of shit as anyone else. And he didn't deserve any of it, even if the things that we were accused of were true, because he was not involved. He had zero involvement. And yes, Nick takes it personally, and he blames it to a large extent on me. And this is something that I will have to personally at some point smooth out with Nick, talk to Nick, be honest with Nick about, because he got fucked for nothing. He didn't do anything. He had literal zero involvement. And you believe conversations like these in combinations to leaked images such as what is commonly referred to as the hit list make it look like I was trying to target people in general.
Well, yeah, I mean, again, and we're still building our way up to things, but I'm trying to at least keep it on a coherent timeline. But when you look at Jeff Holiday's statement, here Jeff is, both of you are in this server, both of you have issues with the alt-right, he's talking about how he got rage bullied off the internet. Now here's Wizard having a conversation with Sharat, both of who, again, were in your server, talking about a war, a crusade. Sandre, again, another person that was in the server, a jihad. It makes it sound like it's a hell of a lot more than just simply countering alt-right propaganda on the internet, and it makes it seem like there was, more. It was vindictive, malicious that
It makes it
Rage
seem.
was after.
It
Yeah.
makes it look. It makes it look really bad.
Well,
Is
I
that
mean, Waz Lee was the one that said that himself. He said we need to change the target's name to something else because it's going to look horrible when people find it.
Do you know what the targets list was? I mean, the accusation was that I was gathering doxes in it. Like,
Well, we
what
will
was-
get into that with the stuff about Coach Red Pill, and also there's speculation too about what was
Well, no,
Aiden Paladin's.
I'm not talking about Coach Redfield. I'm talking about the list. Do you know what that was? Did anyone ever tell you what it was? Did you make any statements about? Because I've seen a lot of people claim that it contained docs or other stuff, but
Well, no, in my,
Have you ever
my
actually-
in my video series, I was very clear. I focused more on the gay ops, which we'll be getting
Mm-hmm.
to, and I focused in the last part on CRP. I
I'm
avoided
going to send you
picking,
something
Aiden.
quickly.
Yeah.
No, not sending him things.
Here you go. This is the hit list, as you like to call it. This is what it is. The so-called hit list.
Okay. All right. Hold on. Let me pause this. I'll play it on stream here. 1 second.
Okay.
It's only a minute and 40 seconds, so it's not too long. Here we go. All right. You're probably not going to be able to hear me playing it, but I'll just
That's
tell you when I
fine.
started.
That's fine.
All right. So it's a minute 42 seconds. It's a video Kraut linked. I'll start it in 3, 2, 1.
The so-called hit list is an archiving bot that we wrote a script for. What it does is the bot targets the accounts of certain people on Twitter, people who we added into the bot script. What it does is whenever one of these people tweets, it grabs the tweet. It shows us with that speech bubble, for example, if a tweet is a response, with that arrow if it is just a tweet, and it grabs the tweet, it posts in that thread on Discord any images that may have been tweeted out with that tweet, the contents of the tweet in terms of its text, like here and here, and then it creates an archive link and posts the archive link together.
I'm pausing it at 52 seconds. Let me ask you 2 questions. One, the server we're talking about is the initial server. This looks like a different server.
That's the same thing.
but-
We moved it.
Yeah,
we
I
moved
mean,
it
you,
from one
you
server to a different one.
yeah, but you can claim that now because there's no,
Yes.
there's nothing left. It's been deleted. It's been wiped.
If you
Yeah.
say so, yeah. Okay,
Oh my
you can make
God.
that claim if you want.
Well, see, this is where it is. He's trying to kind of correct the record, but not providing.
He's trying to erase history. Like, see, this is a different server.
No,
But it
yeah,
has
I'm
everything
using
else.
a German, bait correct the record.
It's like I rewrote history like a certain leader of ours in the past.
Yes.
And yeah, as you can see, this history is right, and it's like, and,
Yeah.
and it's
No,
like
no,
Jesus
the
Christ.
one that you had was incorrect, so this one here is correct.
Yeah, it's like, well,
We moved
Adolf.
it. It's not correct.
I'm
yeah,
telling you, what we did was we set up a bot to archive people's tweets and to give us data on the social
Oh
media
my
behavior
God.
of people, how
It-
things
that's
spread,
very
when
German
people
of him.
delete what,
I know,
how
right? Very, very
what
German.
gets retweeted. It has several purposes.
Okay.
The intention is for me to make a video on that.
Why wouldn't you?
That's
have made a-
basically what it was.
Why wouldn't you have made a video like this showing your alt-right persons of interest servers then? If it would clear it up that much, why didn't you do it
Well, that
initially
would
when
have-
the leaks happened?
That would have ruined the program, wouldn't it?
What do you mean the program?
It would have ruined the purpose of the bot.
Well, didn't you just do
What?
that now by explaining it to everybody?
Well, the bot has been observing everyone's Twitters for a year now.
Okay, and
It's
what's,
fulfilled its purpose.
what was the purpose then of observing their Twitters?
The purpose was to figure out how propaganda and how certain messages, etc., spread through the internet.
Propaganda
How
is
messages are
kind of
spread
a
across.
German creation.
How people behave on
Yeah,
social
but
media.
didn't
If there
a
are
certain
specific
German guy
media
with a funny
tactics or
mustache create
propaganda
that?
tactics.
No, okay, so
Also, initially, I
so propaganda was creative with the help of a certain psychiatric doctor from Austria, Germany, Austria, Sigmund Freud, whose family member, I believe, cousin, created propaganda when he went to the United States. He helped create Operation Paperclip.
Oh, then the funny little mustache man used it. Okay,
Yeah,
got
well, the funny, yeah, I mean that's where everybody used it. Let's be real. Everybody fucking well used it.
Well, after that point, yes, after they realized,
Everybody used it. He found a way to market that fucker to the highest level.
you mean I can lie to the people and they'll believe me?
Yes. Yes.
Jesus Christ.
Actually, there's a book called Propaganda. I mean,
Yeah.
It's one of those things. It's been around for a while, but yeah, no. World War II was a beautiful time frame. Beautiful time frame. But anyways, we'll continue.
I have to admit the intention was to prevent people from deleting tweets, because we saw a couple of people making some nasty tweets and then deleting them before we could screen cap them. But then when we worked on it further, we figured this could be ideally used to observe social media behavior and make a video about that with that data.
Okay, but you have no records of the initial server. This is again the newer server.
I don't have it anymore.
Okay, so this is a completely different thing than what we're talking about.
I moved the thing that we were doing in that list over to that server. It is still the same thing that we did. That is what we did.
Well, that's your claim that it's the same thing. Yes.
Yes, it's my claim. If you don't believe it, so be it.
Okay. All right. Let me pull up where were we here. All right. So we had the Rage After Storm incident. With the timing, we had Jeff's statements after that. We had the Wizard of Cause conversation with Sandre. All of these were people that were in the server that make it seem like it was more than simply countering alt-right propaganda. Again, using phrases like war, jihad, and crusade. Let's move into the Discord ops, and let's talk about when that started. Now, that was, I believe, or at least it started coming into prominence with the videos, so late August. Would you say that's fair?
It started... Depends which one. We did two. Well, I did one. The other one was done by Sabby. Mine started in late August, yeah. Ended in November.
Wait, I'm confused.
And his started in October.
You said that all the servers were run by you, this one and the one before it, but now you're saying Sabby had their own?
No, Sabby ran one of them, the macro thing. The idea of creating a fake server, that was his idea.
Yeah, and we'll get to that. We'll get to Red Mackerel in a moment here. One of the interesting things I noticed is there was a focus on CRP, and I mean, we'll get to the main bulk of CRP stuff later, but
Yeah,
I did
Hill.
notice this going back. It seems to me like the, I guess, main activity within the Discord and the video series and all of that started really gearing up in late August. And when I went back and looked at Coach Red Pill's videos on you specifically, and I timed that with when the Rage After Storm stuff got brought up again, his videos hit on July 26th, July 27th, and his third follow-up was near the end of August. Now, it would seem like, I mean, is Coach Red Pill the one that pissed you off enough to go through all of this?
No. I didn't even know really who Coach Red Pill was until a few weeks after he made
Rip Coach Red Pill, by the
those
way.
videos. Like, the server existed
Killed by
way
Ukrainians.
before Coach Red Pill came on.
Or Russians, we're not quite sure. I'm pretty sure it's
I'm still gonna.
Ukrainians.
I'm still gonna say it's Ukrainians.
I'm
How
pretty
long
sure
was
it's
the-
Ukrainians.
How long was the server planned for?
Like I told you, since April 2017, that's when the first time a few people got together and talked about making videos on the alt-right, how we would organize that, etc., etc. And then I decided to make a server. The first one, which got deleted because nothing got done. There was a 1-month break, and then I made the other server, the one where the entire drama is around.
Okay, and the initial server, was it structured like the second server, the one that everybody's most familiar with? I mean, were there people of interest in the alt-right that you were looking at? What was going on in the first server?
The first server was a complete chaos because it only had one text chat. I gave everyone who joined admin rights. Everyone kept making new threads.
Oh,
Everyone
I see where he's going with this now.
It
You
just
do you?
ended up a complete chaos.
It's
So
everybody
deleted
else's fault. It's not Kraut's fault.
Okay. So, and this was,
you
I
see
think, the
it
focus
already?
of my third video was really...
Yeah,
the
I mean, I saw it a
or
while
the
back,
second
but
video,
I'm
the
just
third
like...
video was...
Yeah,
Kind of
Lynn
obvious.
never on this. That's exactly what it was.
When we get into like gay ops,
Yeah.
when people are talking about that, and a lot of this comes from, and you mentioned Zabby. Zabby is one of them. when you look at something like red mackerel and mincemeat. And again, I think this kind of goes back to when people are looking at Jeff Holliday's behavior and your behavior and the events that surrounded Ridge after.
I am not responsible for Jeff Holliday's behavior. Like, he can say jihad, war, and whatever he wants, but it's not representative of my behavior, what he does.
Well, you two are working in concert within this Discord. I mean, to say that you're not associated with his actions is foolish.
I barely talk to him anymore at all. At this point.
But we're talking about, at the time, you were talking to him, and we've heard the Skype conversations. Zeph leaked those on SoundCloud.
But he had, like, the Rage After Storm thing, the live stream that he went on, had nothing to do with that server.
The second server, but you said the first server was up and running in April.
Yeah, the first server was already gone by the time the Rage After Storm thing happened.
Was Jeff Holliday involved in the first server?
I don't think he was even in it. It was me, Sandra, 3 other people. I have to be honest, I don't even exactly know who.
3 other people who I don't know.
One of them could have been Jeff, but we don't know.
Ranging in the 10K.
One of them could have been Sasquatch
range,
but we don't know.
Okay. All right. Well, and again,
don't disparage Sasquatch.
When we're talking about gay ops, you've got Zabby who's talking about red mackerel, which is feeding false information to try to make, I guess, your opponents, your opposition look
What's
foolish.
that swamp version?
At least that's how it felt.
Swamp thing?
That was mine.
That was mine. I think it was swamp.
Okay, well, Zabby's the one that people saw posted. I mean, that could be yours. That's fine. I know you talked about Tilly Law backpacking across Europe.
Yeah, that was mine. Exactly. That was mine.
The gayest of gay ops. Okay. And Zabby also spoke of mincemeat, which was the idea of suckering in a larger YouTube to attack the alt-right.
No. Mincemeat was the gay op. The one with Tilly Law and the feeding of false information. Zabby's was macro. Zabby's was making a fake server.
How far gay do we need to go?
In case leaks happen, with fake
full gay.
We
need to go full gay.
Fake research, fake accounts, fake everything. So if any leaks were to happen, because he thought there would be leaks at some point, the leaks would be nonsensical.
Wait, what?
Okay, well, I mean, I can bring up the video.
Decided to kick.
Because
my brain hurt on that one.
Wait a minute. No, he just did Pulse.
And showing the diagram.
Yeah, like I said, my brain hurt on that one.
He basically admitted that he set it up so he couldn't be
He was talking about red mackerel.
Yeah.
Mincemeat is completely on me. It has nothing to do with
That's what he said.
Okay,
right
well,
there.
I want to show this so people
Swamp
understand
Ape,
what
that's
I'm
what it's called,
talking
Swamp
about.
Ape.
This is up on screen. This was the Operation Mincemeat setup, execution. It basically says people who are feeding us info about Edgy are unknown to us and are constantly changing names. They don't buy it, they buy it. And basically it works through a premise of total panic about Thunderfoot, DeFranco, Sargon, and infighting accusations.
No, not
Thunderfoot. Party,
Thunderfoot.
Sargon and Thunderfoot begin to make videos.
And who's writing that?
This was posted by Zabby. This was Operation Mincemeat. It talks about the setup.
I have no idea what that is. Like, that just sounds... Okay. Well, I'm pretty sure he will have an explanation for that. But...
Well, you understand how weird this looks. When we get
I understand that it looks really weird. I'm confused by this as you are describing it to me.
Okay, because this was in the initial video, and it lines up with what ended up happening.
Well, I mean, he's probably
Coach Red
high
Pill's
on
information is on your server that ends up in the hands of the Guardian, who passes it off.
Coach Red Pill's information was never on that server.
Is on your server. It
Oh,
ends
the
up in the hands of the Guardian.
Guardian.
The Guardian hands
Yeah,
it to
the
Kiwi Bowl.
Guardian.
It goes on to Kiwi Farms. And then who uses the information that's now publicly available on Kiwi Farms to make a video about Coach Red Pill? Sargon does. And that lines up pretty damn well with Operation Mincemeat, doesn't it?
But that's not what happened.
I'm confused that you have this information. Unfortunately, we're talking about Germans who are very upset at the alt-right, the American alt-right, for some fucked up reason. So, here we are. But anyway, continuing. Oh, also, this entire thing was eked out by everybody that was in that server. So you could kind of go by whatever account that they wish to give, but that's the information that was passed around, and we're just still trying to figure it out.
That's exactly how it happened. I have the timeline of the exact events of how it happened.
That's how you interpret it happening, but that's not how the Coach Red Pill's information was never on that
On
Discord.
November 3rd, you said excitedly to Zeph in your Discord, I have CRP's real name. On November
That's in a DM.
On November 4th,
Yeah,
Jeff
we got
Holiday
the
tweets
dumbass.
out, to CRP. We'll see how
So?
heartless I am suing us.
Wait, I mean,
Following
this
that,
makes
on a
it
live stream with
legit.
I
Worski,
know.
when asked about this, Jeff Holiday came out and said, "Yeah, I meant to infer that I know who he was and he should be careful." Then, a
Yeah.
week or so later, on November 18th, the information is posted on Kiwi Farms. So we see you have the information. Jeff is bragging about it the very next day. A week and a half later, that information is now publicly available.
Uh-huh.
And then following that, Sargon puts out a video. And it follows in line with Operation Mincemeat of trying to use a bigger YouTuber, feeding them bullshit, getting them scared, making them think there's a war or some weird shit going on, and then having them out and go do a video against somebody you dislike or you have an issue with.
Coach Ripper's information was never on that server. The thing you're referencing with Zeph is a private message that I sent to Zeph.
Yeah, but that get leaked out.
Someone
Dumbass.
linked me a Coach Red Pill video. That was the first time I watched a Coach Red Pill video. It was something about Austrian economics, and it didn't make any sense. It was just pure gibberish. I
That's because you're not
Googled
Austrian.
the company at the end of the video because he ends all his videos with the copyright of a company. I got the billing for the company by the City of London, which showed that it was obviously a fake company, a shell company. It didn't really exist. It didn't make any business. I found his name there. I Googled his name, and the first thing I found was the fraud that he did with the economist Stephen Keen. And I got really excited when I read that. Wanted to make a video on it, wanted to expose it. And the first thing I did, which was retrospectively stupid, I ran around to almost every single big YouTuber I knew and showed them that.
Well,
I
now
went to Zeph.
When we're
So,
talking about
went-
you
hang on,
talking to
pause.
people about this-
I've got that already paused for you. So you trying to figure shit out now? Okay,
No,
Dr.
I
Watson,
mean,
have you figured it out?
It sounds like to me that Coach Woodpill pulled a Jack's Films.
Pretty much. Yep, pretty much.
So
it was,
I
it
mean,
was known information, but
at the end of the day, I can't even call that a dox.
no. But the problem is most people didn't know what it was, because again, you would have to know the business. So yes, the business is at the end of his videos, but no one ever takes the time to actually do that.
No one takes the time to go through and look at it. But at the end of the day,
It's there.
the problem is Coach put that stuff out there.
I know.
So
It's there.
Okay, that's for me. This
But
is not
it gets weirder because when you have a program just like what this has been already like Mincemeat, Operation Mincemeat here has already been showcased how things are being disseminated. This works well for Kraut's program, but also creates a degree of deniability. You see how this works? Because this is information that's easily found, but no one's actually gone out of their way to do it, and then he sent it to people that are considered Coach Red Pill's enemy. So now he gets to have that enemy gets to do the hit list, which creates the Kiwi Farm and so on and so forth. And all Kraut has to do is look like the proud peacock that he is, because he helped orchestrated that entire operation.
I could say it's a shitty act and a shitty behavior. However, I can't
It
say
is.
doxing anyone.
No, I didn't. I'm not going to say doxing because again, I'm going to take the same idea as Jack's Films, but it is
because it's for me, it's the same way.
Yeah.
It sounds like Coach Red Pill shot himself in the foot, just like he shot himself in the foot when he went to Ukraine.
Correct.
Well, he shot himself in the head on that one.
Yeah.
According to the Ukrainians.
He targets and sits back while others destroy his foes. Correct.
Yep.
Which, at the end of the day, I mean, and I don't want to call Jim a hypocrite for this one, but, Ralph was doing the exact same thing at this point in time.
Yeah, he did. I mean, the funny thing is they all
everyone,
did.
Everyone in commentary doing the exact same thing at this point in time. So, I mean, you kind of get around to it. If you want to point finger at Kraut,
I know, but by this time frame, a lot of the people who have done it either has scapegoated it onto somebody else for the most part, or made their entire apology tour and then did a complete 180, aka and he erased Warstein.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
Kraut, on the other hand, he still is in denial that ever happened. It's not him. Why are you blaming all this all this on me kind of situation? When all Jim is kind of going is, this is the data, this is the timeline, this is the history. We're just trying to point out your gay ops that you were doing, and this was all eked out by people within your server who decided to spill the entire operation beans going forward.
So basically,
Denial, yes.
how dare you accuse me with all this actual evidence that shows me guilty, that I'm guilty? How dare you?
Yes, yes.
How
See,
dare
I
you?
mean, it's the same thing. Like, I'm not a big fan of Sniper Wolf, but I find her
Who's that?
tactics just as questionable as somebody like Jack's films.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's like I'm not saying that he's innocent, but at the same time, it's like any fucking Tom, Dick, and Harry that a business address. Let's look this up. Oh, there's a name tag. I mean, it's the exact same as
It is the
fucking
same
Jack's
thing, but
films.
again, the weirder thing is not everybody does that. They just blindly just live their life. They've seen the video, they move on. They wait for the next video to happen. But people who have issues with these people go out of their way and create this contrived, thing that's happening.
Yeah.
Well,
And
whereas Sniper Wolf, she goes to the actual house itself, and maybe does a drive-by, takes a picture, and kind of goes, "Should I go knock on his door?" kind of thing, and everybody freaks out. But
time out. But you gotta look at what led up to Sniper Wolf doing that.
No, I know.
Jack's
because
films, poking the bell with it.
entire-
So at the end of the day, I'm not gonna sit here
No,
and
no,
go,
yeah.
poor pitiful Coach Red Pill. He had
Yeah.
target on his back from his dumb
well,
statements. And what does he do?
created,
He puts an LLC out there that's tied to his fucking name in a video for any one of his fucking enemies to get a hold of. It sounds like it's fucking self-defeating to me.
It is. But yeah, Lynn is correct on this one. People just go, read the title, go from there. They don't do a lot of research. They just kind of go, that's the information. Boom,
What the problem is Coach Red Pill should have known this because he dicked around and fucked around with sites like fucking Kiwi Farms.
I
and shit
know
like
that's the problem. It's just
he knew better. So I don't.
Did he know better? Because he's an idiot, no matter how much. Because he decided to go to.
He claims he's an expert. He claims he's a fucking expert. So
I understand he claims, but hell, you had a president that claimed that he wasn't senile.
All right, so we should treat him with kid gloves.
I'm just saying that.
No. Should we treat him with kid gloves? Go, oh, poor, pitiful Coach Red Pill.
Do you see me going, oh, pitiful? So sorry for him. I'm just saying that he claimed that he was an expert. We knew that he wasn't an expert. This is like talking to a person who's going to take their fork and stick it into a light socket and say that they're going to fix it. You kind of go, okay, you go for it. You learn from it. But the unfortunate factor is Coach Red Pill didn't learn from it. He used it as a campaign to get more money and prestige.
Time out. All right, Linda, it's not the fact that she's right that anyone can get LLC fairly easily. No, that's not the contention here. The contention here is he had an LLC he made and he put at the end of his videos that tied to his actual name that allowed people that didn't like him, that was highly critical of his videos, to find him, target him, and then go at him.
Yeah, but Sparky, you're missing the greater point here. That has been out. That LLC was active throughout his entire YouTube career, all the way up until Kraut decided to leak out that information.
Still public.
I understand, but here's that point I'm trying to put out. No one decided to take those steps until Kraut did it.
Yeah.
And that's where it gets kind of. This is where you have this dicey kind of thing. It's the same thing like the whole Jack's films and Sniper Wolf thing. No one actually did it until Sniper Wolf decided to do it.
And no one in Ukraine decided to lock up any U.S. reporter until Coach Red Pill did it. So
right, you got it. So you see where this goes. All of it's bad, but it comes back down to you should have known better going forward because, hey, if no one else did it, why are you the first one taking the same thing with Sniper
on
Wolf?
both sides?
I mean, it's like, what the fuck are you doing? So Yeah, it is well known. It's a well tactic. This is what people do to try to get good tax write-offs. Problem is, it opens up the door to particular questionable people who want to go at you. And this was one questionable person who had a vendetta against Coach Red Pill for some fucking reason, and decided to go this route and decided to use Operation
Yeah.
Mincemeat to make sure that he wasn't involved with it, but unfortunately he was. He actually helped start this entire thing.
Yeah. But at the end of the day, he's like using something publicly available to someone that they don't like. It's like Andy's done it, PPP's done it, Ethan's done it, Josh has done it.
Oh yeah, no, and
Sargon's like,
I kind of point to laugh at all, going, "You fucking moron."
yeah. The only one that I could say really hasn't done it is Jim, but he's fluttered around with it too.
Yeah, I mean that's where we're at. That's why I mean this is why we're here.
He's spotlighted stuff like that.
Yes.
He's spotlighting and pointing out same thing as like what Kraut did. So it's like it's like I can't be mad at the guy.
No, and that's what I mean. I'm kind of, but the problem when it comes down to Kraut, he's still in the denial. Jim will say he did it. That's the problem. Jim
I
will.
really don't
I
care
mean,
if, I
yeah,
don't
the
care
only-
if he fesses up to it.
Yeah.
I mean,
Leave Jim alone. Jim, the guy here, the one over here, not Jam.
Yeah, Sparky can never get his, defined. Apparently, every time I'm like, "Is he talking about me again?"
The guy talking, Mr. Metokur. His name's Jim.
There we go. Go with double M. MM. You can do M's. I know you can.
Metokur.
Yes. There we go.
Just say Metokur. Just say Metokur.
Just say
Every
Metokur.
time you say Jim, it sounds like
it
Jim,
does come out Jim.
and I'm just like, "What
Yeah, I
the
know.
hell is going
Hey,
on?"
hey, Jim, stop being outrageous.
So we're talking
Never.
to Medicare now?
Never. I will never stop being outrageous.
But anywho.
Truly outrageous.
Yes. So anywho, we'll continue where we were left off.
This information. How did Holiday have it the very next day after you had
Because I
excitedly
showed it to him.
But
Because
you,
I showed it to him that day.
but you told me that you guys weren't really working in concert at this point. That he was just kind of like an
I
ephemeral
told you right
figure.
now. I told you right now. I went to almost every YouTuber. I went to a shit ton of people and showed them this.
It just is a coincidence then
At
that
least
both Zeph
12,
and
13,
Jeff are in that
14,
server
15
with you.
people.
But so it's just a
Yeah,
coincidence
that's just
13,
a
14,
coincidence.
15
that they're both
Wow.
in the
Could have just
alt-right
as well
server
been-
with you.
Yeah, it could have just as could have just as well been someone of the other 15 or so people who I showed this to who could have made this public.
Crowd, come on,
To be
man.
fair, it was
Mhm.
public.
Yes.
Yes.
You don't see when people are looking at this situation, right?
I know it looks bad, but
It
just
looks
because
bad
it looks
because
bad, it
it
doesn't mean
looks bad
that
because
it has to be
is
that
bad.
way.
It looks bad because it is bad. You
But
tried
does
to
that
get
mean that it have to be that way?
you tried to get
Does it mean
Rage.
that that sequence of events is like
Crowd,
that?
you tried to get Rage deplatformed. Jeff talked about how he bullied her. And once again, later on, here we are. This is after Coach Red Pill has made videos basically saying
So
that
we're going back to Rage now.
I'm establishing a common theme of actions. You've
Of
got
actions.
you two acting together, basically doing the same thing. You're on a stream together talking about how Rage is shit. You're trying to get her deplatformed. Jeff is talking about how he bullied her.
Well, I didn't
off
say
camera.
that Rage was shit on that stream. I mainly talked about the points that she made in the video. I was the calmest on that stream.
You weren't calm.
I had
You
no-
weren't calm. A few days later when you're
I
trying to
wasn't
get her
calm
thrown
a few
off.
days.
Yeah, it
later.
must be
I
a done.
spurged on Twitter.
Right.
I
I would say,
spurg.
yeah.
I have a tendency to spurg.
And then there's
Robert
Jeff saying
Spoons
you
and your
bullied
birth
her
and must
off
be
of
a
the
crowd.
internet. And now here we have
That's
with the
what
CRP
he
thing.
said about
Here
himself.
we have with the CRP thing, where you're excitedly sharing the information, and it's just a coincidence that once again, here's Jeff Holiday, again, another person in your server. I mean, this is all coming from people in your server. Sandre, Holiday, yourself. Like all these people are involved in this, and that's just a wild coincidence. It just looks bad, but isn't bad.
Well,
See,
the
pause.
reason it
This-
got out
this
in
is-
the end.
This is why I don't like shit like this because people, and I see what Jim's trying to do, but
There you go.
it doesn't mean that these pieces all fit. And again, this is not defending Crowd or anything like that, but it's like it doesn't mean all these fucking pieces come together. And it's like I remember I got blamed for doxing some fucktard online, and I didn't. It's because he had his fucking username and profile picture attached to a Bandcamp that tied to his fucking real name that other people found.
Uh-huh.
but I got blamed for it because I knew who he was. It's like, yeah, but they get located because of me. Got located because of his own fucking actions.
I think what you were hearing to there, Lynn, was Jam eating again.
No, I actually haven't had anything to eat. Right
You
now.
have it, then it is coming from then it is coming from the audio. Okay,
Okay. Yeah.
because usually you end up eating something, or something gets squeaky and it sounds like you're crackling into something.
No, that was a rapper. I heard it too. I wasn't
Okay,
me.
so then it is on the other side. I wanted to make sure. I just want to make sure. So I'm going to blame you anyways. So
All right, that's fine. I was eating a little bit ago.
he's having a
I
sick
mean,
reflux.
I haven't eaten all day because I've been working all day. So I was like, shit, I can't get
But
food.
time out. Let's look at it like this too. I mean, fuck, Mudahar and
Mama
fuck,
Max
what's
and
that?
all that
What
nuts
not my
Taku and
yeah, Mudahar, Mama Max, Nux Taku, fuck that Australian British guy, what?
John something or another. Yeah, I know who you're talking about.
Not John. Him and Mudahar work together to go at
Yeah.
at completionist.
Yeah.
Cole. Yeah, Cole. And it's like, what they did? They looked into an LLC and they also looked into charity funds and stuff that was out there publicly. And it's like, we got to go at Mudahar and Cole for the same actions that Kraut took. I mean, it's like, where do we draw the defending line and stances? Because, you have Mudahar and Cole saying that completionists committed charity fraud when
We don't even know.
clearly he didn't.
Yeah.
I mean, they actually did another investigation on him. They're like, yeah, he did nothing wrong.
Yeah.
Kick rocks.
So
I mean,
so it's like the exact same actions. What's that saying that I keep hearing get thrown around? Keep that same energy.
Keep that same energy. Yeah, I know, right?
It's like if it's wrong to do this stuff on one side,
It should be
then
wrong on all sides. Well,
on all sides.
This is basically where Jim is trying to get to, because by this time here, Metokur has already gone beyond and kind of rolled back to doxing is even though uninevitable or inevitable kind of thing, it's still considered wrong from all sides. If no one has gone out of their way to try to expose these people prior, then why are you doing it now?
So here's the thing: if Coach Redpill didn't have the LLC out there, and if Coach Redpill didn't put his stuff out there, and this is something that was grabbed or gathered from private, affairs, like Coach Redpill gave a name or something like that to someone in confidence, or something that you can't just go onto a YouTube video, look up and stuff like that, I'd say, yeah, okay, you got a good point. But once you put that stuff out there, you tie it to anything.
I get it. That's where it comes back down to the claim of doxing is kind of a broad term, but unfortunately, it's information.
Yeah, it's not a dox. It's not a dox at this point. So
no, but I know, like I said,
it's shitty.
Yeah, it is. But again, unfortunately, like I said before,
a shitty thing happened to a shitty person. I care how.
Yeah, I know, right? But no, this comes back down to the whole, going back to the propaganda portion of it and all this other kind of things. But unfortunately, at the end of the day, this was a doxing campaign that was being dealt with on unfortunately with Kraut and Jeff Holiday and whoever else that they decided to go into with as the core. And then they tried to do other different campaigns to go against their enemies using other tactics. So it was kind of a weird kind of combination of things. It wasn't just one thing, but because Jim is just focusing on the gay ops aspect of it, which is what he's covered in his 4-part Trout and Tea. He's just kind of doing his hit on this one, just kind of going.
Yeah, I can see that. Yeah, I can see that, and I'm completely fine with it. But it's like,
so and he's trying to get to the conclusion of where the mindset of Kraut is, unfortunately. But Kraut took off. Well, after that happened, he kind of killed everything for the most part and tried to eke himself back onto the internet. Didn't work out. Anyways, continuing. We're almost done.
All right.
Was because I showed it to the Guardian 001. Don't know if you know him. And you know the Gerbil Twitter account?
Yeah,
Yeah,
I know who
Guardian's
the
a
Guardian
faggot.
is. He ran away. He was the one
Yeah.
that him and Edgy Sphinx were the ones that basically put the majority of this shit out on Twitter.
Uh-huh. And he told me that he would get you to make a video on this if I gave it to him. And he took it and
How'd
he sent
that
me a
work out?
screen cap.
How'd that work
That didn't work out too well.
Yeah.
That didn't work out too well. He posted it in a DM group with you and King of Pool, and what happened is that King of Pool took it and posted it on KiwiFound. I guess that's at least how I see the lines of events.
Now, I'd like to ask you too, and this is again relating to the gay ops, because you're saying it looks bad, but it isn't bad. We've got audio of you having a conversation with David Sherratt, and you're talking about information
Shitrat.
regarding Ryan Falk, alt-hype. And
Yes, the masturbating video.
Yep. But what you said is, I want to hand this information off to your SJW friends to use, to which David responded, no, they aren't in favor of doxing.
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't think I phrased it like that. I said, if you are going to,
No,
I will
you,
not,
you said,
something like that.
I want you to hand this, I want to give you this information.
Did I
want
say
you
it exactly like that?
I mean, we can,
Yeah.
I can pull up the audio, I guess, if you'd like. Hold on.
No, I believe you. If you say it,
Yeah, I want to
Believe you, I believe you. Don't play the audio.
And Shitrad said, no, they aren't in favor of doxing.
yeah.
Again, is this just
That was
something that looks bad, that you want to take information and hand it off to a group
That was
you think
us.
is going to
Fucking beautiful,
exploit it
man.
That was
and
us.
go after him?
That was a conversation that was us sitting together after we found the video.
Well,
Talking about
it
what do
was
we do
it was
with it.
more than you two. Zeph was there.
Yeah.
He wouldn't have been
And
able to
Liz
record
was
it.
there.
So
A couple of other people were
where
also
did this
there.
conversation take place?
That conversation, I don't know. It could have taken place in my server.
Oh, okay.
Could have
So
taken. You
these
don't know
gay
for
ops
sure.
were running in your server.
And I posted the video in my server. I remember posting the video in my server, which, yeah, was stupid.
But
was a
I
mistake.
guess I'm confused, because you told me the entire point of your server was just to catalog their tweets. So why are you posting why are you posting
No, that
videos
was not
of Ryan
the,
Falk?
that was not the entire point of the server. The
Oh, so
point
there
of the
was more
server for
information.
people- the point of the server was for people to communicate with each other, to make videos, to research, to share their videos, and to have conversations. And as it so happened, some of the conversations veered into stupid directions. Like me posting that video, that is a good example of it.
Okay. So when you said earlier that this was just about cataloging tweets to try to come up with a network of how they propagate their information or how they spread their message, that's not entirely true, and you're admitting that now.
Yeah, we also gathered their videos. At least I encouraged people to post the videos that they wanted to respond to, but that's something that only few did. But I wasn't really seeking out personal information. Like the way I found the Ryan Falk masturbation video was I went through his entire catalog of 10 years of videos. I must have watched hours of his videos going back 10 years. And I was working on a video basically trying to showcase to people how his message hasn't changed over the last 10 years. And as I was doing that, I found out that he was driven off the internet once 8 years ago. And when I asked how that happened, I found out that it was because of a video of him masturbating that somehow became public. And I found it fucking hilarious. I will say that. I found it funny in a mischievous way. I downloaded it, I took it, I showed it to a couple of people, I laughed at it.
Now, one thing
I wondered if-
I find funny in regards to mischievousness in your server is Ryan Falk later went on to have a live stream where Drillette
Talking
and
about,
David
yes.
Sherratt were on there. Again, both members of your server. He accused him of pedophilia and then said they would be posting evidence of this pedophilia and then never posted any evidence of it.
Yes, and?
Well, I guess what I'm saying, Kraut, is it sure seems like all the people involved in this server have tried to attack people on the alt-right in as many underhanded ways as
That
possible.
was a really stupid thing to attack him on. If there's no evidence of that, it's a serious accusation to make.
Well, yeah,
It's
yeah,
something that should be
it's
made lightly.
it's very interesting. Yeah, you know, to accuse him of pedophilia and then not really follow up on it. And then you've got CRP having his information posted and it's put into a video. You've got all these different, just weird things going. You know, I also noticed too in your server, kind of thinking on what's been going on with Andy Worski, and I didn't really notice this at the time, but Hi, I Think I'm Real was in there. And I know he's repeatedly gone after Ethan Ralph and Andy Worski time after time after time. It just seems like this is a group of people that got together, have a fucking grudge, want to have a war, a crusade, or jihad, and are really willing to
Yeah.
do essentially whatever they want. I mean, even as Sargon put it when he talked to you in that Skype conversation, you're using culture war tactics the SJWs use against the alt-right, digging up people's past and trying to smear them is a bad look.
So there's absolutely no reason whatsoever for anyone to go after Ethan Ralph. So, hey, I think I'm real. He couldn't possibly have any other motivations. He couldn't possibly.
Well, I think we know what his
himself dislike him.
motivations are. I mean, even Kilroy, the event that basically suckered alt-righters into paying to go to an event to hear alt-right speakers and then canceled those alt-right speakers after collecting the money, the person that organized that, Based Mama, was again another person that was in your server.
Yeah, I'm barely active at all.
I know, but even these barely active people in your server seem to have a hand in a
Yes.
lot of really underhanded shit that seems to target anybody that they identify
I
as
don't
alt-right.
know how underhanded Kilroy was. To be honest, I
It was very
didn't
underhanded.
finish your video on it because it didn't make any sense. I don't know how it ties into me.
Let me say this, Kraut. If I were to hold an event and say Kraut and T is coming to speak, and people said, "Oh, I like Kraut and T. Here's $100. Let me get a ticket," and then I said, "Nope, Kraut and T is not coming, but thank you for the money. I don't associate with people like Kraut and T." Would you call that underhanded?
Yeah, I would call that underhanded.
Because that's what Based Mama did when it came to
But-
Baked Alaska and James Alsop and a number of other
I
alt-right
don't know
speakers.
if she did that. If you say so, I still have to look into that because I haven't looked into that. I had
You
nothing
don't
to
look.
do
You
with the
don't
Kilroy
vet
thing.
the people that are in your server.
Well, no, that was actually one of the big problems, I guess, with it, that I didn't vet people. But when it comes to the Kilroy thing, my only connection with it was she sent me a document, I signed it, I sent it
Yeah,
back to her, that was it.
Bake Alaska is a major alt-righter. He's well known for being a part of the January 6th thing. So, yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, he spent some time in federal prison. You know him. Well, congratulations. But yeah.
How do you know him?
It's also really good dessert.
Do you know him or do you know of him? I hope we only just know of him.
I mean, you never know. QAnon. Yeah.
Oh God.
Yeah, you and Penn are perfect for that. Anyways, continuing.
I had no connection to Kilroy.
Well, I mean, you had to be fair, you do. Here we have
Yeah,
a
I
group of
signed
people.
up, but what?
Yeah, you signed
Yeah, you
up.
have a group.
The person that's running it's in your server.
Yeah.
We're in a server that's basically coming out with gay ops, Operation Mackerel, Operation
Two gay
Tilly Law,
ops,
all,
and the
all of
one
this
gay
shit.
op.
And it's
Well, the
all
one gay
targeting
op,
alt-righters.
mincemeat was Tilly Law. That was the idea of making a fake account, a soccer account, impersonating a scientist who is secretly alt-right.
Oh, pause.
And
Hang on.
feeding,
Pause.
bullshit information.
Pause.
Okay.
Hang on. Going out to Bake Alaska and calling him a faggot retard is a pastime of everyone online because he is a retard. It's like
he is unfortunately.
he is low hanging fruit, and I ran him. He is a faggot.
I'll allow it.
You allow it? Him being a
I'll allow
faggot?
it.
Ah.
No, a faggot retard.
Oh, faggot retard. Oh, okay.
He's a nobody. He's a loudmouth online that likes to type around on a keyboard and try to be. He is a Tonka reject 2.0.
Yes. What's your point?
Nobody,
Smart, you put it there. What's your point?
all right, nobody is afraid of fucking Baked Alaska.
No one is. Hell, I'm not even afraid of him. Jeez.
I don't even care about him.
Baked Alaska got demolished by Jim.
Yeah, he did a while back. QAnon throw. Well, of course. I mean, the guy still hangs out with those people from Cozy TV. That's where he lives for the most part. Him and that other
and
dude.
If you know anything about Cozy TV or America First, anything like that, those faggots or split off on what IBS was or what the sector was a long time ago. This is around this time before they split it off. They came from this section of the internet.
Yeah, they did. But excuse me. Well, we'll continue.
To JF or Ryan Falk about white matter in brain cells more common in white people. Some obvious bullshit, hoping that they would jump onto it, and if they make a video about it, we would laugh at them. And that was shut down, by the way, because one of the biologists in the server told us that that was stupid. He didn't want us to do that. He threatened to leave the server if we did that.
Oh, that
That's
was his line in the sand. That's what he said was too far. With all this other shit that's going on, that's what he did. That's the bridge too far for him.
What other shit was going on?
Again, Based Mama running an event to scam alt writers.
What
Coach
does
Red
that
Pill
have to do
stocks
with
getting
my
put
server?
on. That's your server, Kraut.
That is
These are
something
people
that I
you
did.
brought in. These are people you
The
brought
Coach
in
Red Pill
to
thing
target
is something
the
that I
alt-right.
did myself. The Coach Red Pill thing is something I did myself.
So it's all on you then, is what you're saying with Coach Red Pill.
The Coach Red Pill thing is completely on me, yes.
100%.
And I don't regret it. I don't regret it. The only thing I regret is not making a video on it.
So you
Thinking that you would make
You
one.
gave the information to King of Pool to put up on Kiwi.
No, I gave it to the Guardian, and the Guardian gave it to King of Pool.
Okay. And it's just
He would be able to
again,
confirm
it's
that.
it's just a coincidence then that you shared the information immediately with Zeph and immediately with Jeff Holiday people in your server.
Yes. No, it's not a coincidence. To me, that is just how I am. I found something that I felt was exciting, and I immediately shared it with a shit ton of people.
Right. And now these are still people you talk to. I mean, you're still in contact with people like David Sharat. You're still in contact with the Liberal Sanity Project. These sorts of people.
Liberal Sanity Project wasn't in the server.
Oh no, I'm talking about more recent events like Patebin.
Patepin.
Yeah.
Oh yes, that, yeah.
So what's your take on that with that event?
My take on that is that a friend of mine was in Ralph's server, and he was screen capping the going-ons in Ralph's server. He was basically, he was taking screen caps on whenever people's stocks were dropped, etc., etc. And he noticed that people were talking about flagging Sargon's patron. So he took screen caps of that, he showed them to me and to others, and asked us what to do. And my decision was that this should only go to one place, and that is to Sargon. And that's what we did. We sent it to Sargon because it was, after all, his patron. And that's what we did. And that's what I did. And then a week goes by, and what happens is Sharat got frustrated that Sargon didn't call out Ralph. So Sharat made a video with screen caps, and he took some of the screen caps from a board.
Now, why would Sharat be taking screen caps from a board if he had the primary source?
I don't know why he did that.
Right, that makes no sense, does it? It seems bizarre if you had a primary source.
I think
with
what
the
ended
inside
up happening
information.
is
To use
because
secondary information would be bizarre.
I think what ended up happening was we posted the screen caps of that in a DM group, all of them. My friend and a couple of others, the screen caps we found, and he probably also posted the screen cap from the board. And Sharat probably saw that screen cap and thought it was the juiciest and put it into his video. And when I saw that screen cap, I thought it was the juiciest too. That's probably it.
Okay.
My involvement ended when the stuff was sent to Sargon, because I believe it only concerns him, or it concerns him the most.
So I just want to understand this. Your friend is in Ralph's server documenting things he says Ralph and his users are doing. He hands this information to you. You hand this information to Sargon. Sargon doesn't do anything and Sharat gets frustrated, so he makes a video. But rather than using the primary source that you have provided to everybody, he decides to use screen caps that are on an image board.
I didn't provide them.
So Sharat had, well, he was
Pausing.
And this is before the point that later on we all found out that there was validity in that.
Correct. Yes. You see how the connective tissues are starting to get together.
Yeah.
Start to mingle. You're now getting an interesting shit stew.
Yeah, everyone's a shit person.
Right. This is the reason of why I said what I said earlier. It's like there is bad parties on either side. Unfortunately, when it comes down to something like this, it's just You have to call it out correctly.
Because if I'm not mistaken, it was like a year or so after this, or it wasn't even that long after this. I believe Gator and fuck, what's his name? The other one,
Zidane.
Zidane. It's like Gator and Zidane pretty much confirmed all this too.
Yeah.
It's like, yeah, it's like,
Yeah, because again, Kraut and his friends believe that Ethan, Ralph, and friends were alt-righters. You see how this is? They decided to label somebody that way because they're against somebody on their group, aka Sargoon, and so they decided to defend Sargoon the best way they know how with their operation that they have. They get somebody to infiltrate, get all that information, and then leak it off to somebody else.
yeah,
Now
like
that-
all gay ops subbers do.
yeah, which is what this is more about, the gay ops, not the doxing portion of it.
Yep.
But everything kind of coincides with everything. So you've got the doxing that, or the information release, even though it was very available, easily obtainable, still it was released through Kraut's conversation and his works. Then you have this thing that happened with Ralph, and then you have the thing that happened with Andy Worski and all the others that were against them.
Yep.
And you kind of go, So this became a lot more about the gay ops, not about the doxing. Anyways, continuing.
Yep.
Charat was using. Okay, so he got all his information from an image board.
How do you mean he got all his information from?
Well,
an
David
image
Charat made a video. So where did the information in David Charat's video come from?
I would guess it came from the group DM where my friend posted the screen caps.
Okay, so he had the primary source, but he instead decides to add into that secondary information not from the primary person.
I believe my friend posted the screen caps from the board in there.
Why would your friend do that?
Because he found them interesting.
How would he
Because
find
he saw
them
them on the boards.
How would he find them interesting if he's the primary source?
Because they're relevant to the conversation. I could go and try to find the thread itself or the group DM itself, but yeah, that's where I would guess that screen cap came from and made it into David's video.
Because David's video had multiple. It was the same conversation with misspellings, and I mean, you are known to misspell quite a few things. That is kind of a common trait.
I'm definitely the only person on the internet to ever misspell something.
Consistently, you do it quite a bit.
And I'm the only person who consistently misspells.
Yes, but yet this is information passed
That's
through.
That's a bit of a stretch.
This is information passed directly through your hands. We're not dealing with 7 billion human beings on the planet Earth. We're dealing with Kraut's Discord server, which has a limited amount of people.
I didn't pass it through to Charat. I passed it through to Sargon.
You said group DMs, so I mean, do you have the group DMs? Can you post them so we can look?
I'm looking for them right now, but it could take a while for me to find them. If I had known that this could come up, I would have probably had them. If you want, I can send them to you retroactively if I don't find them in the right time.
Okay. Are you noticing a pattern of behavior here?
No.
Okay, well, I'll step it back a little bit then. And we'll back up just a little bit to CRP. And what I at least call Operation Macro, whatever the fuck it was, getting an ESOLAT to basically do your bidding and go after somebody.
Did Sparky find something interesting? Are you reading Lynn's stuff again?
Hang on.
Okay. I am.
Stop screen sharing right now for the moment.
Okay.
Because I don't want this to get out. But I found this extremely fucking funny.
Okay.
Well, not that. That's copy this. Why aren't you copying?
Oh.
There we go.
Let's see here. You're looking at a Kiwi Farms thing.
Yeah, don't read it out loud. Just read it,
Uh,
and then click the first link.
I am. Oh God, no. Really? Why out of all these things that okay. All right, whatever. All right. I will explain this to Gemex at a later time frame.
Yes.
So we
I'm
have
sorry.
reached. It's okay. We have reached that hour and a half. Well, actually, above the hour and a half, hour and 40 and counting. So I believe we have, give or take. Let's see what we are here. There. So let's do a count. We've got about another half hour ish. 25 minutes of this. Do you wish to continue, or should we cancel it here and continue later?
I don't care either way.
Okay. What about you, Sparky?
We'll continue it later.
Continue it later? I heard. I heard. Continue it later. So I know you said you don't care, Jam. Sparky says continue it later. I usually say we do this for about an hour and a half. We call it quits. So we've passed it. We've given you guys some interesting insight. It doesn't get any better for Kraut and T. I know where we are. I'm gonna leave it as such. I'll probably put it in the low bar for anybody who's interested that wants to catch the entire saga in place from 2017 to 2019. It is a an interesting saga, so there is that. But we're gonna call it. Thanks, ladies and gentlemen, for coming along for yet another fine edition of Metokur history, or MetoHistory as I like to call it. So as usual, I give these motherfuckers their last rites. I hit buttons. We get the fuck out of here.
Go ahead, Jim.
Don't all jump at once.
I got nothing.
Well, I'll
Shit
say
your
this
pants,
much.
folks.
I'll say this much. Oh, my pile might be down with some legal trouble down the future, and that's about all I'm gonna say on it.
Wow. Pile.